Welcome to my channel, and I'm back with you once again with another video of Microsoft Flight Simulator 24. Nowadays, I'm making a series of videos for the Inibuilds Airbus A320 Neo, and in this regard, this is going to be another video in which I will tell you how to perform a go-around. In case of a missed approach, or you just want to practice your landings, you can just perform a go-around and you can land this plane again. So today I'm doing this short flight from Lahore to Islamabad, and soon I will be reaching Islamabad. That's why I just started the video right now. The speed is really high. The plane is going to miss the turn anyhow. Okay, so this is the approach plate for the runway 28 right, which I will be using for the landing. And if you look at the approach plate, there is a missed approach procedure given. The heading of the runway is 278. So after the missed approach, you will be flying in this direction, 278. And just like after 4 nautical miles, you will turn left heading 240 degrees. Then you will climb up to 3,500. Then again, you will turn left 100 degrees once you climb up to 3,500, and then you will proceed with your flight. Now, then afterwards, or rather before I move forward, I'll just tell you that it's also written over here, 278 degrees. This is the missed approach procedure, and you will fly in this heading. Then after 4 nautical miles from the IBIP, this is actually the distance from the localizer, which is used for the ILS. Left turn 240 degrees, then climb up to 3,500, and then left turn 100 degrees and climb up to 4,500. So for every airport, obviously, the missed approach procedure is a different procedure or a go-around procedure. So you can just read the approach plate. So this is how you read it. Now, once you miss the approach, you have to come back and land again. Or maybe you can just go to another airport. So for this flight, now what I can do is this. Once I will miss this approach, the flight plan will disappear from the MCDU. So I will load the approach again in the MCDU, and then I will have the option of either going to ISDR or going to this point, the intermediate fix, or going to the final fix. So this is totally up to us. So we will see what we will do once I will perform this missed approach. Number one. Number two, how we perform the missed approach. Now look at the throttle. You see this option, TOGA. This is actually takeoff and go around. This is maximum throttle. So once I decide to miss the approach, I will move the thrust levers to TOGA. I will retract the gears, and then I will also retract the flaps by position 1. I will be going with the full flap landing. So I will also retract the flap by 1 position, because flaps also provide drag, not only lift but also the drag. So we have to reduce the drag. And if you go to the MCDU, you will see that at different options. This is basically after 149 you can retract the flaps, and then 193 you can retract the slats. And this is your green dot speed, 216 knots, at which you can just fly without any flaps or without any slats. So I will then keep on retracting the flaps till I have a speed. Now the question is this: at what speed I will be traveling? Over here, because the speed is not given. If you look at this approach plate, there is a constraint of 220 knots for the speed over here. So maybe you can just go up to 220. Maybe you can just go up to 250, and then once you are here, you can reduce the speed. But I think we will be flying at 220 knots. So this is going to be a good speed, and then from here I can proceed with the landing. Now there are 2-3 things that you can do. As I told you before, you can either fly directly towards this point or this point or this point. You can do this using your manage mode, or you can also do the selected mode, fly in the heading mode, and then change your heading. Just try to intercept this line, and at some point you can just turn left, and once you intercept this line, you can then proceed with the landing. So instead of going with the manager, or rather we'll go with the manage mode, but I will also explain the selected mode for you. So once you get your hands on the manage mode, then you can do it with the selected mode. So let's wait for the runway, and I will just then take you from there. Now I'm near the runway, so I will just lower the gears. And now I will deactivate the autopilot. I will just land it myself. Now, first of all, what you have to do is this: set the target altitude to 4,500, because this is the altitude to which we will be climbing. And let's take the heading out of the manage mode and go to the selected mode. Vertical speed, let's keep it at 0. I will change it later. So actually I'm now following the glide slope. Gears are down, ground spoiler is active, flaps full, lights on. So ready for the landing, but obviously I will be performing a missed approach. So one more time I will just go through the procedure. We will move the throttle to toga, gears up, and flaps retracted by 1 notch, by 1 position, from full to 3. Just 1,000 feet to go. Minimums is at 1950, almost 200 feet above the runway. Runway height is 1750. That's it.
300. 200.
So let's say at this point I decide not to go, so pull back on the yoke and full thrust. Gears up, flaps up by 1 notch. Now maintain your vertical speed in such a way that the speed doesn't increase so much. So you have to adjust it accordingly. Or maybe at this point I can just turn on the autopilot and set the speed to 220 knots. And set the vertical speed to, and start retracting the flaps. Set the lever to climb. Great. Now the plane will be above this green dot speed. Now I can turn 240 degrees. The plane is leveling off at 4,500. You can just see, following the procedure, just remember this thing, that once you are doing this go around procedure or missed approach procedure, you are contacting the ATC, and ATC is giving you the headings and the speed and everything. So right now as I'm doing it myself, so that's why I can just keep the settings as per the approach plate. Now speed, I can even go up to 250 knots, but I will be again going for this procedure either through ISDOR or from this point. And you can see the speed should be 220 knots, should not be more than this. So that's why I will just keep it at 220. Otherwise, below 10,000 feet, you can go up to 250 knots. So let's keep it at 220 knots. Now, if you will see, the approach will be there in the plan. If I go to the, you will see that the approach is there, but the arrival procedure has disappeared. So either you can just fly directly towards this point, I-28 right, or you can just load this approach again. This is another thing that you can do. Let's say 28 right, arrival, and I select 28 right, ILS 28 right, and the star is, oh, the star is not there. It was actually Indy 1A. Okay, look at the arrivals for 28 right. And we can select any of the arrival.
2,500.
If I select, no, this, not this one, 1D. I think we'll just ignore this because I should be going to this point. If I insert, yeah, it's still II28 right. Actually, ISRO should appear. Let me just try again. For ILS 28 right, why? Yeah, it's not showing me. So I can even go with this. Now I will keep on flying in this heading. Now you can see this approach is appearing as a dotted line because I'm in the selected mode. If I was in the manage mode, then it would have been a solid line. So let's wait for this point to be close to the plane. When I'm crossing this point, then I can just activate this point. Either I can just fly towards this point based on the heading, or I can just go directly towards it. If you see this option, direct, II28 right, you can just do this. Flight level is 5,000. I can further climb up to 5,000. That's it. You can see that this indicator for the ILS, it's still below. Now it started to move up. So when it's up here, it means it's a safe altitude to turn around and go for the landing, because now I'm moving away from the runway. So that's why this diamond is moving up. Let's get this approach again. Now you see. Now you see that this diamond has started to go up. Now I'm almost about to cross this point. You can see. So I can directly fly towards it. So just go to this option direct, select this point and select, and that's it. Now the plane will turn towards II28 right. I can also do one more thing, get the performance so that I can also activate approach again. I can again set the speed to the manage mode. All the lights are on, ground spoiler active, everything is good. Just one more turn and go for the landing. So I can again activate approach, confirm, and I can then start extending the flaps, slow down. And plus I can just activate approach. Now the plane is locked with the localizer. As soon as this diamond is in the middle, it will also start to follow the glide slope. And right now, it's aligned with the runway. Now I can start extending the flaps and the slats. I can set the altitude to 3,700 also and start the descent, but anyhow, as this diamond is in the middle, the plane will start to follow this diamond. So it's okay. Even if you want, you can do that as per the approach plate. But the plane will actually follow this diamond as approach is active. Ten nautical miles to go. Now you can see the descent has started automatically, so no need to even adjust the altitude. 9.5 nautical miles to go. I can activate autopilot 2 for the auto land. Now 6 nautical miles to go. Just lower the gears. So just 1,000 feet to go. So that's how you perform a missed approach and a go around, and you come back and land again. But you can just practice it at different airports because different airports have got their different procedures. So I use this airport because I'm used to it, used to these procedures. But you can just try different airports, and if you find anything difficult, you can just let me know in the comment section, and I can try that for you and make a video for it. And if you've got any further questions, you can ask me in the comment section. Nowadays, actually, I'm a bit busy. I've been trying to answer everyone, but if there is a delay, kindly excuse me for that. And plus, if you also want to add anything to this video, the comment section is there for you, because it's a great learning platform that I have created. And, we all are learning from each other a lot regarding this simulator.
100.
So now,
50, 40,
30, flare.
20. Retard 10, retard, retard.
And let's activate the reverse thrust. And that's how you land this plane. And you bring it to a stop. I hope this was a useful video for you. And now you will be able to perform this procedure. Thank you very much for staying with me. Have a nice day. Hope to see you soon.